is my first liquid cooled gaming PC build. It looks pretty cool. It used to be all blue, and they used to have all blue colors in here, but right now I got the green in here because I had this computer for almost over a year now, and I changed the liquid that was in here. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the casing and what's in here, so let's go ahead and talk about this. This is the P5 casing from Thermaltake. I really like this casing. It has this transparent glass on the top of it, usually like this, but I took it off so that we can see better inside. It's actually plastic, it's not glass, but you can order a glass for it. You can get a glass one, and I just never went that far yet. I never got it. So yeah, what I really like about this casing is it came with this PCI riser here that showcases your liquid cool like video card. So you know, like you spend quite a bit of money on a water block for the video card, so you want to make sure that you know you're showing it off a little bit. So this casing does all that for you with this transparent front, and it allows you to see inside the computer very easily, and you can showcase your video card. This is actually an Asus 1070 Strix video card. It is modded with a water block by EK Water Blocks. So yes, there's a water block on here, and it's all green and stuff, and we have our Thermaltake power supply here that's powered up green as well, LED. And the pump here is actually a Koolance pump made by the Koolance company. They're really nice pumps. They make lots of great stuff for liquid cooling at Koolance. This is a Koolance Radiator. We got the radiator back here where the coolant goes into, flows through there, and it is being cooled by these fans here, of course. And the fans, unfortunately, that I bought at the time were blue with the blue liquid, so they don't actually change colors. They only go blue, so that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I also have some RAM that is T-Force RAM that is actually lit up to RBG green right now. And I also have a water block on top of my CPU here. So there's a CPU water block here made by EK Water Blocks as well. So this is actually an Aorus motherboard made by Gigabyte. This is the AX370 motherboard, and I really like this motherboard because it's got lots of LEDs on it all over the place. There's LEDs here, LEDs there, LEDs back here, and it's a great motherboard for that. It's got lots of colors on it, and it actually had a block that fit this motherboard, so that was really good from EK Water Blocks again. One thing that I did notice about this setup when I first got it is actually how quiet it is. If you get real close, the fans are on max speed right now so that they give off a little bit more color. But when I put the fans on normal speed so that they slow down when they don't need to, they don't glow as bright, but really they're even more quieter and they don't make any noise actually. This up here is actually a flow meter for our stuff so that we know that it's running, but it's actually not functioning properly. That is from the Koolance company. It's supposed to be blinking, and it's supposed to send a signal to my motherboard that says that how fast it's going, and you need a special adapter for it in the back. But it is not blinking, so it's actually not sending a signal anymore to my motherboard, and my motherboard doesn't think that the CPU fan is running. So that is kind of a problem, but it is what it is right now. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at the back of the computer here. We're going to go ahead and turn the computer around. This is the back of the P5 casing. It's actually got all these holes here because it can be mounted on the wall. So when these legs come off of this casing, so you could have it mounted somewhere nicely. And we're going to go ahead and open it up here. So I do have a light installed in here for just for fun, because usually the case is closed and you don't see it anyways. But it's got a nice racking system for your drives up here. There's spaces for 3 drives. Right now I got two SSD drives in RAID 0 for my OS, and this is of course a 8 terabyte drive for 4 terabyte drive for storage, of course, yes. And nothing fancy in here, so there's nice little bit of cable wrapping, nice holes everywhere for you to run your cables into the front, so that your cables look nice. Good cable management. If you're going to be buying a P5, I want to warn you about something that might save you a lot of time. I talked about this at the beginning of the video. Yeah, if you're going to buy a P5, I actually had to bring this computer to the computer store and they looked at it for a long time, and I looked at it for a long time, and I couldn't figure it out. But they ended up figuring it out. Luckily, it took them a long time too. But this PCI riser cable for this video card, for having it mounted like this, showing towards you, the one that came with this motherboard is faulty, so it did not work for me anyways, and I didn't know until I started looking into it, and I noticed that there are complaints about the cable. It is faulty, so I had to go ahead and I wanted to use this part of the casing. I wanted to be showing like this towards the front, so I did go ahead and buy a new cable, a new PCI extendable cable from Thermaltake again. Thermaltake made the new one, and it works perfectly with this casing. So I did buy the new one, and it does work good now. Fortunately, at first it would not even let me install Windows. So that's the kink about this P5 casing. If you're gonna buy one, if you want to use this feature, you're gonna have to probably buy a different cable for it, which is what I think it was about $100 at the time.